Okay, welcome back to Uncle Joe's Workshop. Alright, this is take two on this. Battery died in the first demonstration, so I'm going to do it all over again. I have my piece of metal from the sanding demonstration, and what I want to do is talk about polishing. And for this demonstration, I have just two compounds I'm using. I'm going to start with bobbing, and I'm going to end with a ZAM compound, which is over here. And I always use bobbing on this side of the machine. I always use ZAM on this side of the machine. And to get started, it's a good idea to clean this wheel because you don't know, especially if you don't know who used it before you did. You're going to take off some of that compound. Now we have a little fork in the room that we use. For this, I have a little. Okay, the premise behind this is that any other compound might be in there. It might have something else stuck in it. Could scratch your project more. Just to be safe, it's a good idea to do this unless you've just watched somebody do it before you and you know that they didn't make a mistake. Now, this is the bobbing compound that I have, and I want to apply the bobbing compound. It doesn't take very much. And then when I do the polishing, I'm going to be working, slow this wheel down, I'm going to be working on the bottom quarter of the wheel, bottom outside right here. And so I'll be working in this area almost all the time I'm polishing. And to do that, I've got this board I can use. This one's marked for bobbing. And I can hold my work on this board, okay? Or I can just use my hands. You'll notice that it gets hot really fast. So it's good to have some water nearby, cool off your piece while you're working. You don't burn your fingers. And then between compounds, I want to make sure that I wash this piece of metal off. Alright, so I'm going to go through the process. You're going to see me working on here. I'm going to add the compound to start. I'll polish this whole piece. And here we go. Doesn't take very much compound. It's pretty good. A little hot. It's wet. Not too bad. Pretty happy with that. I'll do the edge. If you sanded the back and you've cleaned up the back, you can also use the bobbing on the back of the piece as well. I'm a little high on the wheel, and you stay a little lower. It looks pretty good. And I'm ready now to clean this. So in order to clean this, I'm going to use an ultrasonic cleaner. And right here I have a Gemware cleaner. And it has a lid, but I'm just going to set it in here. And I can turn this on. It's got a lot of compound on it. I let it run for about 5 minutes, maybe 10. Alright, just for this process, I'm just demonstrating. I'm going to clean off the rest of it with my hands. That's the other thing to think about when you have compound. You get it on your fingers too. See, I've got compound on my fingers. I want to get that off. Coming back to the machine. And I'm going to take a little soapy water that I have. I'm going to clean a little bit more. I don't have anything stuck in here. Usually use the Gemware cleaner when you have compound down little crevices, especially if you did an internal cut. It's a good idea to use that. Okay. And I can work most of this off with the soapy water. Okay. I'm going to come back over here. I've got a towel for my hands. But I'm not going to use the towel on the metal. I'm going to rinse the metal with some clean water. And I'm going to dry it with a nice rag on my shirt. Okay, there we go. Now, it's not bad. All this, the big scratches are gone. I've polished it up, and I've got just the bobbing on there. And there's little tiny micro scratches in it, but they're not bad, and it should come out with a ZAM now. Alright, so moving over to the next phase. I got the ZAM wheel, and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Okay. Now, I got my rake. I can rake this one as well. My rake has two ends. And I've got my board for my piece to hold it if I need it. This one's marked for Zam. I'm going to do it by hand without the board. I very rarely use one. Here comes the Zam. Looking pretty good now. Need to cool it off, it's a little hot. And the other side. See a little Zam compound building up on it. I'm going to pump it a little bit more. Hot. I'm going to get the Zam compound on my hands as well. The edges. Much shinier than the bobbing. And you can see my fingerprints in it, but it's not bad. Now, I can put this right back into the gem ore cleaner again. And give you a different view of the gem ore cleaner. I gotta set the piece in there. Turn it on. Yeah, the camera's a little crooked. That's the stand. Okay, we'll leave that in there a few minutes. I don't have time to wait, so I'm going to pull it out because I just finished the demo. I'm going to wash my hands off. Turn that off. I want to show you guys a little more here. I think that's pretty clean. And you know, my hands are dirty, but use my clean rag. There we go. And should have almost a mirror finish on there. A few little scratches. I could go back over it one more time. I may have put those scratches in it just with my dirty fingers. That's possible. And there's a couple little dings in it, but it's an old piece of metal. It's a recycled piece of jewelry. And I plan on doing another demo with it, which it won't really matter whether they have those marks in it. Okay, but you can see how shiny it is. Very nice.